What's going on, everybody? ODC here, and I'm back with another action figure review. Today's review, we're going to take a look at the Star Wars Black Series Ahsoka show. This is Hera Syndulla. This is a figure I did put off getting. I actually picked her up for, I think it was like $17 on GameStop. And yeah, I'm pretty pleased actually with the figure. I am very pleased. I think this is actually a better offering than the Rebels version. And I'll do a comparison with the Rebels version and everything. And I actually really like that figure. Always liked Hera's design. That kind of like, rebel pilot, but she's got her own take and her own look. And she really does stand out from the rest of, the Rebel Alliance and stuff like that, while, still being a big part of it. Love her design. One of my favorites, I gotta say, as far as Star Wars characters go. And yeah, had a huge crush on Mary Elizabeth Winstead. And I remember seeing her first in Final Destination 3, I think it was, all those years ago. And then, what was it? I think she was all, what was it? What else was she in? I can't remember offhand. Live Free and Die Hard. Another really good movie where she played John McClane's daughter, Lucy McClane. And so I thought that was really good casting. And this is just another one of those where the shoe fits casting. Perfect. Really good actress. Very good actress, very talented, and it just fits the character perfectly. It's kind of like Katie Sackhoff in Bo-Katan, where she voiced the character and then just looks just like the character. It's fantastic in live action. So this is actually, I think, a little bit of maybe an underrated figure. I don't know. A lot of people don't really necessarily talk about it, at least that I have seen. And I don't know, she's simple, but it's just a really good looking figure. Let me get some of this stuff out of the way and we'll take a closer look at her. Let me get these little generators out of the way and some of these crates. But the figure itself has a very good likeness to the actress. I think they did a pretty good job as far as Hasbro goes with their sculpt work here. And look at the face. I think it looks really good. Very well done. Very good likeness. She only comes with her blaster, but I think that's really, she doesn't really need too much else. I do have a couple gripes with the figure's, I don't know, I guess anatomy, or I shouldn't say anatomy. The anatomy's fine. She actually is built like a woman. I'm shocked by that. But she actually has shape like a woman, which is great because, not that I'm oogling over the figure like that. It's not that serious, but to actually see a character in figure form that has a womanly shape is a nice thing to actually see, because that's more of how a woman actually looks. And I think that's actually kind of how the actress looks too, She does have some shape. I like the design. This is a little bit plasticky when you get to the legs and stuff like that. It's a little bit like of a brighter orange. I might do like a light dry brushing going throughout the legs just to kind of bring out more of the sculpt, because it does feel like and look a little bit plasticky. It might be a little bit brighter on my screen, but yeah, when you get her in hand, I think she's well done. Nice sculpt work for the jacket. I like the ranking she's got on right here for the Rebel Alliance. She's got some Rebel Alliance logo right there, and then she's got her own logo on the back, which is really nice. She is a Twi'lek, and we all know that. It's pretty self-explanatory here. But yeah, the face sculpt looks very good. They did a really good job with the face print technology and everything. I like the goggles that sit right above her head. I think that's really well done as well, I guess. I like the bomber jacket. Looks really crisp and clean for that kind of pilot look. We've got some nice sculpting for the shirt underneath, some nice line work. And I've noticed this more and more. I don't see too much paint slop nowadays. There used to be like way more paint slop back in the earlier days of the Black Series and just Hasbro toys, but they've gotten so much better with, you know, their paint slop. Maybe Marvel Legends can take a a learn from them. We've got another little symbol right here on her jacket. I'm not really sure what that is 100%. Someone can let me know in the comments though, but it looks good. We've got some paint on the back of her head right here, which looks pretty nice. It's kind of like her I call them like birthmarks because, you know, that's what I think that those are. So, but it looks pretty cool. I'm sure there's a Star Wars technical term for them, but, and excuse the paint under my nails. I was painting a figure, but, yeah, I like the holster and the drop leg holster here, and the belt looks really good. It's very unique to this character. It's not reused. This is an all new sculpt here. A lot of dedication and time and effort went into this. There's even a lot of paint on the blaster that she's got. There's some blacks, there's some gunmetal grays, and then we've got like almost like a copper. That looks really good. Very well done. So, yeah, I think she looks really good. I'm very pleased with her. She, at some points with her ankles, she does have some balancing issues, but I mean, for the most part, I can usually get her to stand. She wants to, like, fall back a lot. But I like the sculpt of the boots. They're not, like, overly shiny. They kind of have, like, a semi-matte finish to them. There's, like, a little bit of a gloss to them, but it's very light. So they did a good job with that. I like the gloves too. Gloves look really good. Very nice. Very, very nice. So yeah, she can hold her blaster in this one hand. Not really so much in the other. There's kind of a trigger finger there, and she can hold it, but it really does fit much better in this traditional trigger finger hand here. So there's that. And then she can holster her blaster right here. And I think it's pretty much the same design, the blaster from Rebels, I want to say. And then it just clasps right there on her side. And I mean, that's pretty much it. She doesn't really come with much else. You got an all new sculpt. You got her blaster. And as far as the design goes, that's pretty much her design. Now, posing her is where I kind of get, I guess it leaves me a little wanting. It leaves me feeling a little wanting because she doesn't have thigh swivels, and we've seen this with a lot of new media characters based on a show or something like that, where I think they put a lot of money into their new sculpt, and they've been taking away these thigh swivels. Now, technically, she has a little bit of a thigh swivel up at the top of the ball joint where the thigh or the leg meets the lower body. But it's very limited. And that's unfortunate because you want to be able to get her to swivel that thigh so she can get more dynamic posing. Now, Hera is not the most dynamic character of all time in Star Wars. She's not going to do like Jedi backflips and stuff like that. But I mean, it's nice to be able to get her into a really cool shooting pose or something like that. And she can still throw down. She can still throw fisticuffs and stuff like that. So you want to be able to get her to, you know, beat up some stormtroopers or whatever. But I don't know. The figure, there's just really good likeness, very good sculpt, new body, brand new head, obviously, but it looks really good. As far as her articulation does go, her head can swivel at a full 360 rotation if you needed to. Her head can't really look up due to the back of her head here, but she can look down. She isn't a double ball peg joint we're used to pretty much with most modern figures. They have the neck ball peg and then the head ball peg. Let's see if she's got some jive turkeys. Oh, yeah, we got some good gobbles up in here. And then we have the arms going up at a T-pose about that far. Pretty good there. We do have a slight butterfly joint. It's very limited due to the jacket, I think, but it is there. Single bend at the elbow, swivel at that elbow. We have a swivel at the wrist. We do have a... Is this ball jointed? It is ball jointed. We have a ball jointed wrist, so it can go up, down, left, right. So that's pretty awesome. That I think this might have been... Was this the first figure with ball jointed wrists? Because I know the new Maul has it, which I just did that review, but I didn't realize this one had it. So that's pretty cool. I like that. Maybe all the Acolyte figures have them too. I'll have to double check. But I like the ball jointed wrists. Those are nice. We do have a lot of range of motion in the diaphragm joint right there. And then she can swivel. She can pivot. She can crunch back a little bit. She can crunch forward a little bit. I would have liked better range of motion in there, but I think that's due to the sculpting of the pants really hindering the diaphragm joint from crunching any forward because she's got them high pants on. She's got legs can go forward, legs can go back a little bit. Like I said, there's a little bit of a swivel. It's not really a true swivel. It's kind of like a pivot. And then we have a single jointed knee, which is perfect. A swivel at the knee. We do have, oh no, I thought we had a boot cut, but we don't. Maybe we do, and I'm not, am I stuck? No, it's definitely not there. It's just sculpted. I can see the sculpt line. And then we can point the toe very well. Nice pointy toe. And then we can point the heel to a certain degree. It does have a stopping point, so it's almost like just a little bit past neutral. But that's about it. And then we have a ankle pivot, 2 peg holes, and a partridge in a pear tree as far as her articulation goes. So I like the sculpt. The articulation is kind of limited. I would have liked a little bit more. The thigh swivel, maybe a boot cut. I know we have the knee swivel right here, so maybe that's a little redundant. The butterfly joints are a little bit hindered too, but that's kind of due to the coat. I would have liked, you know, especially with a character with a coat, I mean, you could dip into that sculpt a little bit more and get some better range of motion, or back the peg off. If the peg is really deep on the arm going into the body, back the peg off a little bit, make it a little bit shorter, and then you can get even more range of motion. So that's usually the problem with most action figures that have butterfly joints. They're usually hindered by the actual peg going into the arm, or into the body, excuse me, from the arm. But I mean, there's not really too much else left to say. I mean, she's like I said, womanly. Like, she actually has an ass. Like, that's probably the best ass I've seen out of the Star Wars Black Series line. I'm not trying to, you know, like, gawk over her rear end, but that's definitely the nicest one. And she actually has thighs that are like a little bit thicker. It looks like a woman. It actually looks like a woman, and not like a, I don't know, an adolescent or a friggin' young teenager. So that's nice to see. As far as some comparisons, we'll bring in, you know, let me scoot her over. We'll bring in a few. I'll bring in Greedo here. He's an oldie, but a goodie. I still like that figure a lot. Let me grab the original Hera here. All right, so here's the big comparison, and I think this is one of the coolest ones. So there's Greedo, and then we'll bring in, you know, we'll save Rebels Hera for last. We'll bring in Jada Toys, one of my favorites. Very simple design, but the Invisible Man. And then we'll bring in, who else? We'll bring in Captain Rex. I hope he gets an update soon. I would like to see him on that 2023 body. So that'd be cool. I know they're re-releasing him, but I have enough Rexes. I have like 3, so I don't need any more. And then we'll bring in my next review, which will be Palpy. So there's Palpy. with his creepy finger. Love this figure. It's such a good one. And then we'll bring in Psylocke. There we go. And then how about we do... Oh, there we go. We'll bring in Obligatory Duke. He's taller. Classifieds figures are always usually taller. So there's Duke. Bring in an oldie, the NECA Ken Masters. And why not? For good measure, we'll bring in another Marvel Legend. There's Wolverine. And here we go. We'll do Hera and Hera. So there you go. There's the Rebels version, and then you have the live action version. And I think these complement each other quite well. I guess I'm pleasantly surprised by the quality of how she is. I don't know, her design is given. So I think they did a good job designing her. I think the casting was perfect, and I think the figure really does represent that quite well. So I don't know. I'm going to go ahead. I'm going to do it. We'll put them on the crates. We'll give her a 1 thumb up, and then there's a 2 thumb up. Is that going to stay? We'll see. But there's 2 thumbs up. Well, we can't really see the other thumb, so we'll just put a thumb here and a thumb here. There we go. 2 thumbs up. Good job on Hasbro for the most part. Like I said, if I could fix a couple things, it would definitely be a thigh swivel, possibly a boot cut, and a deeper butterfly joint, so you can really get her to two-hand a gun very well. So like you can get her to one-hand it easily, like most figures can, but getting that other, like, you really want to have her be able to take this gun, you know, hold it accordingly, and be able to get her to pose like this. And you can't really do that. Like, this is the closest you can get. So, and that's mostly due to the sculpting of the coat, and then on top of that, the shallow movement of the butterfly joint. So that's unfortunate. Like you said, or like I showed, excuse me, in the beginning, you can have her kind of like holding it up like this and kind of have her work the hand in a little bit, but it's all right. It could be better. It definitely could be better, but this is still a solid, rock solid figure, and definitely going to be pleased about putting this on my display shelf. So that's pretty much it for me. Did you guys pick up this Hera? Do you like Hera? Are you passing on her? Let me know in the comments below. But I think this is a definitely a thumbs up if you're on the fence about picking her up. And she's pretty much available anywhere. I mean, you can find her at your Walmarts. You can find her in Big Bad Toy Store. You can find her at pretty much anywhere. Amazon. I think there's a sale on Amazon for like $18 or something right now. But yeah, that's pretty much it for me. Let me know what you guys think in the comments below. Thank you for watching as always, and I will see you guys on the flip side.